Welcome to a tutorial on how to use iMovie. Now, iMovie is one of those programs that are extremely easy to use and they can do a lot of stuff. And as long as you really understand the principles of video editing, you can create a very nice video just by iMovie. You don't need that many features. So let's get right into it. Start with the basics. Now, obviously, you need video to work with. So how do you get video into your iMovie library? We're going to go to File, and of course you can either hit Import from Camera, in which you'll have a camera connected and the movie will transfer directly from the camera into your video. And what it's showing me is my own camera. Here is the camera down here. You would want to change that to whatever camera you have in there, and then you would click Capture. Add to where you want it to go. Create new event. In this case, I'll do me. I'm not going to analyze for stabilization. Where do I want to save it to? I only have one hard drive connected right now. I'm going to capture and record. Hit stop. Okay, done. Now it's going to transfer. Now, that is if you want to use video from yourself, from your camera. Now, what if you already have video imported onto your computer? Well, very simple. You go to Import, hit Movies. Then it'll come up, where do you want to get movies from? Alright, so I have some movies downloaded in my Movies folder, of course. Let's go to for some raw footage. Let's take a video of a free man running. Alright, we're going to put this one in a new event. We're going to do world. I just like that word. Optimize video. I'm going to copy the files in because I don't want my file to actually move from where it is. If you want to actually move the file from wherever it is in your computer to the iMovie, then you would hit move. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to hit import. And this doesn't take a long time. The longer the video, obviously, the longer it's going to take. But it shouldn't take that long. There we go. It's almost done. And here we go. So now that we have it inside our events, let's just hit play. This is our video of a guy running. As you can see, it's kind of in slow motion, and we can actually speed that up. Even if the original video is in slow motion, you can actually speed it up to be in real time later. So there are two ways to start a project. Either you can go to File, New Project, or you can do the same thing by pressing Control N. You get the same thing up. Now, obviously, I'm going to do the project name, man running. Aspect ratio, frame rate, 30 frames per second. These are things that if you're really doing a beginner's video editing, you don't really have to pay attention to these things. Of course, it's recommended, but they're not essential if you're not working with a professional video production. And of course, you can choose your themes. I like to keep it at a simple no theme because it just looks better like that. Automatically add cross dissolve. I'll usually do that when I'm making a slideshow, not this time. So I'm going to hit create. Now we have our project. This is going to be where we put all of our videos, and this is where all the magic really happens. Now what you obviously want to do is you want to take the part that you want. I'm going to take it right before it comes into focus. I'm going to take that, I'm going to drag it down, and then let's just say sometimes you might want to take the whole clip. I'm just going to do it right before it goes down to his feet. So I'm going to take this clip that we selected and just drag it into our project. And as you can see, I'm going to hit spacebar for play, and there it goes. Exactly right up to where it starts going down on his body. Perfect. I also have another video of the same guy who it's a close-up of his face. So what we're going to do is we're going to import this one, add to existing event, because I made that event already. I'm not going to create a new one for each video. If I'm using the same project, I'm going to put it in the same event, copy files, okay. I'm going to import it. And what I want to do is basically connect both of these videos. All right, here's my guy. Let's see. Let's take just a little bit over here, and then right up to there where it zooms out, and let's just take it and drag it. All right. Now, what happens here is it will just jump to the face. Now, what if we want to make a little transition? Well, very simple. We're going to come over to the right side, and let's talk about these a little bit. We have this is our music panel. This is where you find all your music from your iTunes library or from your music folder, your movies folder, or your iLife sound effects. They have a whole bunch of side effects here. Waterfall, canoe paddle, and whatever. They have a whole bunch of different sound effects. But so here's our music. Next one is our photo browser. This is where we get our photos from. I don't have any photos in my iPhoto library. And if you really want photos, you can import them just by clicking and dragging from your Finder. Next we have text. All right, very simple. Let's say we wanted to add some text. Let's say we wanted to use a very simple horizontal blur. All right, we'll put it over here, stick it in the beginning, and I can write man running. All right, and now we can even change this. We can go to show fonts. We can change the color, gray. We have all these different colors. We can change the font. And notice what's very interesting, I can actually move my mouse across the word and show how it would appear on the actual clip. So I'm going to do impact. I can change the size over here. I'm going to do 6. And we're going to hit done. It's already built in to fade in. Like that. It's going to fade out. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, and the last one over here is transitions. This is where most of the magic happens. A lot of people like to use fancy transitions like a page curl or a circle open, a mosaic effect. Let me just show you what some of these are. Mosaic effect. Or if I did a swap, I can just lay it over that and it'll automatically replace that. I don't like using fancy transitions like that unless it's really necessary. Usually if the music calls for it or there's a very specific reason why I should use that, I won't use fancy things. Usually I'll just go with cross dissolve or cross zoom. Actually, I'm going to use cross dissolve for this one. I think it looks better. Here we go. Now, you can always change the duration of the transition by clicking it twice. Right here you have the duration that says 0.5 S. S stands for seconds. And I can hit it to 1. I can just hit 1, hit enter, and then it goes to 1 second. And I can just hit play, and then it's going to have a much smoother transition. If I do 2 seconds, it'll have an even smoother transition. Hit enter, spacebar for play. There we go. Alright, so now let's say we want to add some music. Alright, so we can come to our music library. Of course, you can also drag and drop music from wherever your music is. Let's see, I wanted to do Freedom. And let's say I didn't even want to use the whole thing. I just wanted to use part of it. So I can put that there. And this is where it gets a little bit annoying. If you didn't edit the clip beforehand and you're editing it in iMovie, it can get really annoying. But I'm just going to show you. I can move it. I can cut the beginning like that by moving this back and forth, cutting, stretching, and then I can move this back, and then I can stretch it back out, cut it down, stretch back out. If you understand what I'm doing, I am cutting the beginning to give more space because this won't move past here. It won't move past the end of the first clip. So I have to cut it so there's more space for me to move this back, and then I can stretch it out more. So let's see what it looks like from here. let's say I wanted to get it before the word started. Okay, so I can. So we actually have live sound over here, so I can actually listen to see where the words start. There it is, right there. I'll move this back, and I'll stretch this back out to the beginning. Now, if you notice, the actual music doesn't start for a couple seconds. There it is. It starts right there. So maybe we should cut out the beginning of this clip. How do we do that? Well, we would have to select the part of the clip we want to go. Let's find where the music starts. Right there. So we can hold down, click hold, and drag till the place we want to delete it. In this case, the beginning. Then just hit delete, and there goes your clip. Oh, we did it a bit too early. So we go back, do a little bit more. It starts right there. So let's try it again. And this is why editing can be frustrating a bit, because you have to keep trying again. But this is what I like about it, actually. A little bit more. And delete. Another thing we can do is that we can actually put a black screen beforehand. We can put a cross dissolve before the clip starts. You understand what just happened? And then we can actually make this a bit longer. Make it 3 seconds long. And then it actually starts when the guy is actually running. Alright, and then we can fade to black, right like this. Alright, so there's our little clip of music. Well, let's say we wanted to fade out the audio, because if we listen to it, it just stops abruptly. It kind of also starts abruptly. So how do we fade in the audio? Well, double click it. And wait, it doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff to do. There is a lot of stuff to do. First, let's get back to this one later. We can go to clip audio, and first of all, we have the volume of the audio. We can lower it and raise it. I always like to keep it 100% if I'm doing it for the video. I can reduce volume of other tracks, meaning if there's a track of somebody, if there's noise in other tracks that I don't want to have to go to each track and put down the volume, I can just tell the sound, this music clip, to reduce the volume of any other tracks that are on top of or below it. I can tell it to move it down to 0. And here it is, fade in, fade out. I want to fade it in at 1 second, and I want to fade it out at 2 seconds. That means when there's 2 seconds left of the song, it's going to start fading out, and it's going to fade all the way in at 1 second. Okay, now we're going to hit done, and let's hear what it sounds like. How does that look? I think that's pretty good. And then you want to export it. Hit share, export movie. I actually usually use QuickTime to export my movie. Man running, just so I don't get confused between my other man running. I'm just going to hit edit. Where I'll do it to my desktop just to make it easier. This is a very important one, options. Depending on how big the video and the quality and everything, compression type H.264, I can do that, or I can choose any of these options. If you don't know what they are, don't play with them. Okay, okay. Quality, high, very good, and okay. Okay, and save. This will be exporting, it'll just take a minute. So that's it for today. Take care, guys.